What's going on, guys? I'm Grant Stoller, and today I'm going to show you guys what's inside my bag. Alright, so I'm going to start with my putters. We're going to start with my putting putters. I have two just basic Lunas. I forget the even blend. It's like just the regular blend. I think there's this, you have the Z blend, the crystal, but these are just like they're not rubber because they're not super flexy, but whatever, the hard plastic. So I just have two of those Lunas, and I really only putt with this one, and I have more at home that I'm probably going to switch these out for soon. Sometimes I'll throw this other one as well if I need something to kind of just go straight or even turn over a little bit. And then the other putter that I throw is from Discmania. It's the Glow Soft Link. It's the Halloween edition. And this thing is it's just stable. It basically goes straight, and I always know it's coming back left no matter what, if there's a wind or anything like that. So if I need something to just kind of put it out there on a hyzer and just have it come in for like 150, 200 feet, I'll throw this guy. And then I have two zones. Really, I only throw the Get Freaky Crystal Flex zone for my approaches. Forehand and backhand, and then I also have an ESP zone, and it's more or less just a backup in case I lose this. I basically never throw this disc. If I'm using a zone, it's going to be the Get Freaky. Alright, next up we have my mid-ranges. I have 5 mid-ranges that I pretty much throw. 3 of them are going to be some sort of buzz, and then I have 2 other discs right now. And then I have backups for different ones that I don't really like so much that are just at home. But we'll start out with the Michael Johansson Tour Series Comet. This thing is just super neutral. It's going to go straight. I can get it to turn right, left, basically do whatever I need it to do. And I just recently got this thing, but I absolutely love it. I've been throwing it like crazy since I picked it up. After that, we have the MD3, the C-Line MD3, the Iron Samurai 2, the Eagle McMahon series. And this thing is pretty overstable. It's 180 grams, so it's super beefy. So I can just rip this thing in the wind, in an open field, whatever, and I know it's always going to come back left no matter what. So I absolutely love this thing as well for like flex shots, hyzers, anything I need it to do, I can use this guy. Then we have my ESP Buzz SS. I just recently picked up this guy, but I mean, it's pretty much similar to the Comet. It's a bit more overstable, not very much than the Comet, but a tiny bit more, so I know it's kind of going to go left before the Comet would. And then I also have a Z-Line Buzz SS. Same thing, I would say a bit less overstable than the ESP, but basically the same disc. And then last, I just have an ESP regular Buzz, which this thing is more overstable than the other SS's, but I still can get it to go right, straight, come back left, basically whatever I need this thing to do as well. I'm a big mid-range player. I love throwing mid-ranges. Honestly, I'd rather play a whole round with just mid-ranges than anything else, but that's why I have so many buzzes. Alright, so next up we have the fairway drivers, and I carry 6 of these. Some of them are duplicates, but total I have 6 fairways. First up is my Avenger SS, my Z-Line. I've had this thing for like probably 5 years now. You can consider it a distance driver probably for rollers, but really I just use it for forehand, like straight shots. I can get this thing to go literally dead straight for 300 feet. I know a lot of people love it for rollers. Maybe I'll get there at some point, but I don't really throw too many rollers. So right now this is just a straight shooter. After that, we have a new Haley King Tour Series Stalker, and recently I've loved this thing. The last tournament I played in, I threw it more than I've ever thrown it. And I can do it either way, forehand, backhand. This thing is going to go straight, right, left, but I always know it's going to come back left at the end, at least right now. Maybe once I break it in a bit more, it'll finish to the right. But as of right now, I know it's going to come back left, no matter how hard or light I throw it. Then after that, we have 2 Raptors. I have the Big Z Raptor, which I love this thing, and then I have a first run Z Raptor, which is a bit lighter than my Big Z, meaning I can get it to stay going the other way more than I can get the Big Z. So I can flex the Big Z and I know it's going to come back. This Z first run Raptor I have right now isn't quite as reliable, so I don't throw it too much. I prefer the Big Z. And then lastly, I have 2 Undertakers, actually 3, but one's just kind of a backup that I never throw. So I have a TI Undertaker and just a big a Z Undertaker. Both these are pretty straight. I can get them to flex a bit. The Z Undertaker is not going to come back as much as the TI. The TI I know is going to come back to the left, but I can kind of get some big flexes out of these, and so I love throwing these guys in open fields. And that's it for my fairway drivers. All right, guys, and last up we have my distance drivers. I have 7 distance drivers in my bag, but I really only have 5. I have duplicates of 2 of them. So we have 7 of these, or maybe 4, I can't do math. No, 5. So we have distance drivers. First up, we have the Machete and the Z. This thing is ridiculously overstable, the most overstable disc I've ever thrown. I don't throw it often, but I have it in case it's a ripping wind in like an open field or something like that. I'll throw the Machete if it's too far from my Raptor. Basically is what I use the Machete for. I do not throw it often, if ever, really. After that, we have a first run Zeus, and this is in the swirl plastic. And I love this thing to go kind of straight distance, but I know it's going to come back right now. I haven't thrown it too much. It's a used, but I got it used, so that's why it's so beat up. But I know it's going to come back left, so it's a bit overstable, but I can also get it to flex easier than something like the Machete. Then we have my Tour Series Jomez multi-print nuke. I had the regular Jomez Tour Series nuke, but I ended up getting those signed, so I stopped throwing them. So I ended up getting the multi-print because this was the last run they were doing, and I absolutely loved that Tour Series nuke from them. So I used this thing. It's not as overstable as a regular Z nuke. I picked up a Z nuke and I kind of hated it. It's super overstable. Not what I was looking for in the nuke. So I picked up the Tour Series, and it's similar to the other one. I can get it to flex. If I rip it hard enough, it's going to go to the right, and then it's going to always come back left. So I love this nuke. And then next up we have 2 Forces, both ESP. This one's a bit more beat in, so I can get some nice flexes out of this thing pretty easily. If I rip it hard enough, it's going to come either way, forehand or backhand. It's going to flex well. This other one is super overstable right now. I haven't thrown it too much, but if I need something that I know is going to be quicker than this Force, I'll go with this one instead. But I'm a big fan of the Forces right now. Some of my favorite discs. And then my last 2 drivers are the Hades. I fell in love with this disc probably like a month ago. I ended up losing my first one, threw it into the water. Happens to the best of us. But I picked up 2 more of these guys. And these guys are super easy to flex, especially if you have a slower arm speed. Mine are 173 to 174 grams. But if you get something like 170, even if you have a pretty slow arm speed, if you rip it, it's gonna flip up. It might not flip and fade right, but it's gonna go straight and then come back left for slower arm speeds, which I absolutely love. So you can get some massive flexes out of these Hades, and that's pretty much what I use them for. Gonna throw them on a big hyzer out of the hand, hard enough it's gonna flip up and then go right and then come back left. So big fan of the Hades. My 2 favorite distance drivers are easily the Force and the Hades. I hope you guys enjoyed this in the bag video, and I'll see you guys in 2021.